This is the story of an American boy. It starts with a telegram addressed to Dick Rice, who lives right here on Adams Street in Peoria, Illinois. Looks like a quiet summer morning, doesn't it? But it turned out to be quite a day for Dick Rice and his family.
Golly, I sure was excited. As soon as I caught my breath, I called up my shop teacher, Mr. Durham. I guess I woke him up in a hurry when I read the telegram. It said, "Congratulations. Your entry in the Industrial Arts Awards program has been judged the outstanding achievement in the entire wood division. You've won an all-expense 3-day visit for you and your instructor to Dearborn." After I talked to him, I called up just about everybody we know in Peoria. And then I had to read the telegram all over again. It was such good news that we forgot all about breakfast. Soon the whole town heard about the award. People wanted to shake hands and ask what we were going to do in Dearborn. It was kind of fun, except when I had to talk to my sister's girlfriends. We even got our pictures in the paper. I don't know where the time went, but all of a sudden it was a day we were going to Dearborn. It was the first time I'd ever been up in a plane. It sure was exciting. And yet, after we took off, I got to thinking about all the different things that happened while I was working back in the school shop. And it certainly seemed a long time ago when it all began. Back at the beginning of the year, I didn't even know what I wanted to make in shop. The other guys had their projects all picked out, but I couldn't make up my mind. The only idea I liked was a brake front secretary. Mr. Durham said it was a tough one to tackle. Anyway, I took it home with the other ideas to think about overnight. And that evening, while I was still trying to decide, all of a sudden I got an idea. It seemed to me a brake front would look good in our living room. So I showed the picture to Mom. She liked it too. Said she'd always wanted a bookcase or something to put along that empty wall. So that's when I decided to go ahead and make a brake front in shop, even if it was going to be tough. Next day, I told Mr. Durham, and he said it was okay to go ahead. But he suggested that I look around at some other designs before I picked out one to work on. Well, I knew there was a brake front in the window at Marshall's furniture store. I'd passed it a couple times on the way to school. So I decided to go in and take a closer look at it. Mr. Marshall was kind of surprised when I said I was going to build a brake front, but he gave me a catalog to look over and wished me good luck. I studied those pictures quite a while, looked at all the different styles, trying to decide which one I liked best. But I finally picked out the one I wanted to make. And then I went to work. First, I had to draw up a set of plans. Then we figured out how much lumber I'd need and what it was going to cost. That worried me. It was going to take more money than I expected. But I guess I didn't need to worry about it too much. My dad found a solution. He turned our cookie jar into a brake front bank. Everybody chipped in nickels and dimes, and I dug them out when I needed them. When I started to work, I didn't know what a big job it was going to be. I bet Mr. Durham knew, but all he said was if I took my time and worked carefully, well, pretty soon I'd have it made.
And that's the way it went. Every day, little by little, Dick's ambitious project began to take shape. He worked with patience and painstaking effort, and often he needed the advice and suggestions of his experienced instructor. More than a brake front was being built as the days passed by. A boy was learning special skills in handling tools, in shaping the wood, in making muscles obey an idea in the mind. A boy was acquiring confidence, confidence that could become the basis for future effort. And there was pride in work already done and a plugging perseverance to keep at it, to see it grow and become a reality. And then one day, Dick found he was not working alone. He discovered the challenge of competition.
Mr. Durham showed me the rules book for the Industrial Arts Awards program. He asked me if I wanted to enter my brake front. Well, I said I'd think about it, and I did. I got to thinking, if I did a good enough job, I might win a prize. Maybe enough to pay for materials. So from then on, I had a kind of extra goal to work for. I wasn't just making a brake front. I was going to do the best I could. Especially because I'd always wanted to be a cabinet maker, and this was a chance to see if I could do it. Well, as the pieces came together, I got pretty excited, and I guess Mr. Durham did too. Finally, the brake front was ready for staining and varnishing, and then the finishing. After the final polishing, it was ready to go into the Industrial Arts Awards program. It was a big night when my family and Mr. Durham's family came to look at it. They all seemed pretty pleased about it, especially Mom. I think she wanted to take it home with her that night. The next day, we loaded it on a truck and shipped it up to Chicago. I was kind of proud of it, but I couldn't help wondering how it would stack up in competition.
Yes, Dick Rice did have lots of competition. Other students all over the country were working on projects in shop classes. Not only useful articles made of wood, but of metal, plastics, of complicated wires and tubes. Projects drawn on paper, set up in type and printed, or carefully turned on a lathe. And this tremendous creative energy is constantly guided and channeled by the experience and patience of competent instructors, men who have made a career of teaching industrial processes and materials and the industrial arts skills. The Industrial Arts Awards program provides recognition and an added incentive for careful work in many kinds of shop effort. Naturally, most of the projects submitted aren't as elaborate as Dick Rice's brake front, but their projects represent the same desire to do the very best job possible. And each year, thousands of these projects are submitted for judging in the Industrial Arts Awards. The national finals are held at the Museum of Science and Industry at Chicago. Here, the crates, in a multitude of different shapes and sizes, are unpacked. Entries come in from every part of the country. Thousands of them from hundreds of different schools, each sent with the same hope that it will be a winner. Each project is registered and tagged for easy identification. Even while the entries continue to stream in, the ones that have already arrived are placed on long tables, at first in a trickle, and then in a wave that almost overflows the vast area set aside for the judging. Here, for instance, is only a portion of the entries in the wrought metals division. And there are entries in 7 other divisions as well. In making their projects, students get a chance to try their hand at a variety of crafts. The skills they can acquire often provide the opportunity for a future career in industry. And even more important, as each student concentrates on the project he's making, he's developing a sense of pride in his work. He's learning the satisfaction of careful craftsmanship, doing each job to the best of his ability. And while the unpacking goes on, the judges are meeting for last-minute instructions on the rules. Then the judging begins. Each man is a specialist in the division he's judging, but it's not easy to select the winners. There's merit in all of the projects. The trained eyes of the judges can spot the qualities that mark the skills and craftsmanship worthy of winning. Of course, they don't often reach a quick agreement. There are many differences of opinion. And the line between winning projects and the others is often small. But every student who enters has acquired new skills and the satisfaction of completing a useful project. Difficult as it is to select the group winners in each of the 8 divisions, it's even more difficult to select the one Outstanding Achievement Award winner in each division. Competition here is very keen. Winners are judged against winners for the special award, a trip to Dearborn, Michigan for winning students and their instructors. In the wood division, the judges take a long time, but finally they are unanimous in their decision. Dick Rice's brake front is named the outstanding entry in that division. Now, with the final judging over, the winning entries are moved to the special area set aside for the annual Industrial Arts Awards Fair. A sign goes up announcing that the fair is open, and the public pours in. In fact, nearly 500,000 in the few weeks that each year's winning entries are on display. On opening day, the museum and the Ford Motor Company are hosts to many of Chicago's business and educational leaders for a special tour of the exhibits. And while their projects remained on view for thousands to admire, the 8 top award winners and their instructors were flying, like Dick Rice and Mr. Durham, to Dearborn, Michigan.
Seems like it wasn't any time at all till I looked out and saw the Rouge plant. It sure looked big to me. When we landed and got off the plane, I began to wonder what was in store for us. But I didn't have much time to think, and I found out that every move was carefully planned in advance. I'll never forget all the places we went and all the things we saw in Dearborn. There was a big banquet the first night. It gave us a chance to get to know each other and swap experiences. Of course, it was mighty exciting when we got our awards. But for me, the best part of the whole trip was our tour through the Rouge plant. We went first to the styling department, where they design all the new cars. Then we went on to see how the cars were made, starting right from where they make the steel. It's a big job, all right. It takes a lot of people. They're all doing different things. Yet everything comes together just where it's needed and when it's needed. I never knew it took so many different trades to make something like mass production work. I guess I used to think it was all done by machines. I forgot how important the people are. I thought some more about that when we went out to the test track and saw the cars that were made by all those people. Then I got to wondering why a big company should be interested in a lot of high school kids. And I think maybe I found an answer. Maybe it's because we're getting the kind of training that industry needs.
Yes, Dick, you're right. Modern industry does need the skills that are taught in industrial arts and trade and industrial courses. But even more important, industry needs the kind of craftsmanship that ensures quality-built products. Not only craftsmanship in the delicate and precise trades, but the same kind of careful workmanship in all phases of production. The pride of each individual in doing a good job is the best guarantee of quality in the product. And that same pride of workmanship is the most important contribution of the industrial arts courses in our schools. Some of these students may go on into industry, or they may use these skills in hobbies or as handymen about the house. But whatever direction they follow, the training they've received is of lasting value to their future. And that certainly is true in the story of Dick Rice.
After I got home, I went up to Chicago one day and brought the brake front back to Peoria. All the time I was driving, I kept thinking about what I'd seen and learned at Dearborn. And I'm more convinced than ever that I want to be a craftsman. I found out that Mom had more ideas that will keep me busy while I'm learning.
That's the story of Dick Rice. It's not an unusual story. It's going on all the time, all over the country, in thousands of schools and homes. Maybe other projects aren't as big, but size is not important. What really counts is the pride of workmanship that goes into every effort.